Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving a book review, and the book, many of you may have heard of it. It is entitled The Rising Sign, Your Astrological Mask, and it was written by Jean Avery, first publication 1982, I believe, and this book is one of those number of astrology books that simply transcends time. It's very insightful, very provocative. It gives a very in-depth look at the different rising signs, and it explains very deeply what the rising sign is about, and the fact that it's our defense mechanisms, it's our facade, astrological mask, etc. And what it does too, and as far as the breakdown of all 12 rising signs or ascendants, it actually, Jean Avery used, she delineated every house for the ascendant, but she used like an equal house system for it. So let's say, like in my case, Taurus rising, she would use Gemini on the second house cusp and delineate Gemini for the second house. It doesn't account of possible interceptions into the equation, so which of course, like in my case, I use Placidus house cusp system because I think that's the most accurate and it deals with interceptions, but she wrote it the way she did more to be simplistic and make it less complicated or complex. So let's say you have a Cancer ascendant, but your second house was Virgo and it wasn't Leo. Well, then you would have to go to the Leo rising description and look at the second house description for that, which would be Virgo. So that's how you would improvise in that case. But what this book does too is, I mean, and not only it gives a real specific breakdowns of the ascendant using the equal house system as far as the delineation of the other houses, but I mean, as far as the first house description for the ascendant, I just think it's remarkable. It seems to me that she probably knew at least one person with each of those ascendants very well, and Jean Avery was a very renowned and very prolific astrologer to my understanding. I believe she had a Scorpio sun, which is no shocker to me, and she is just, I mean, very proficient in the subject of astrology. That would be a vast understatement. What the book does too is it also, there's a chart in there which shows the different houses. Like it shows the wheel with the pie kind of picture with the all 12 houses, and it kind of briefly describes what each house represents in each slice of that pie, so to speak. So it also has approximated tables as far as determining or ascertaining your rising sign, but they're very approximate. She gives like a table for every 14 or 15 days or so, and it's based on, I believe, just one area of latitude. So naturally, if you want to calculate your ascendant precisely and your whole entire natal chart precisely, you could go to astro.com or cafeastrology.com, but cafeastrology.com on average doesn't seem to be as accurate as astro.com. I would go to astro.com in order to do this. Now, what this does too is, as far as this book goes, The Rising Sign, Your Astrological Mask, I believe this is definitely a must-read for somebody, especially that has rudimentary knowledge of astrology and just basically has the fundamental grasp of their sun sign, but they want to really find out deeply about what their ascendant is and in terms of its impact on your horoscope. I would highly recommend this book. And that basically what it does, it goes really deep into what the ascendant or rising sign is. It doesn't just say, well, this is your mask or astrological facade and that's it. It really goes deep into it and talks about the defense mechanisms of each rising sign or ascendant, and shows that this is basically often how we act when we're in an uncertain or unsure type scenario or situation. And what the ascendant is basically our shell or a cocoon. I have my own thoughts on what the rising sign or ascendant is. I've explained that in a video. Yes, it may be predominantly that mask in your facade. I do believe it has a little more to do with the actual self than a lot of other people believe, but that's just my own opinion on it. So, and that's what makes one of the things that makes astrology great. It's not just about the nuances, and it's a fact that astrology can be very subjective, and you can have a wide divergence of opinions on various subjects of astrology. And the thing too is about this book, I mean, it's very well written as well. She wrote that book very eloquently. She showed she has very great command of the English language. I could see why she was a very good, not just astrologer, I believe, but an author as well. And actually, the thing about it is I currently don't have that book in my possession, but that was one of the first books I had read as far as astrology goes, and really that's one of the things that made it memorable to me, because this was in my early learnings of astrology, and I think that's it. To me, it's very nostalgic. I need to get the book. I currently, as I stated before, I don't have it in my possession, but it's something that I really do need to get, and I think this is an awesome read for anybody that really is just trying to find out more deeply about what their ascendant is and what it represents and how it plays such an integral role in our personality and in our outlook on life. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the rising sign, your astrological mask, and stay tuned next time, where I'll be continuing my series on the zodiac signs in money. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.